Hello everyone and welcome to Victoria's Action Figure Cantina. Today we're having a look at the Hasbro Star Wars The Black Series 6-inch Ahsoka Tano action figure. So this is one that I have been wanting for a very long time. It's been very hard for me to obtain. Haven't seen this one in stores. Been trying to get it on Amazon for the last few months and I'm always just a little bit too late. It always sells out within minutes. Until a couple weeks ago, I finally got lucky, was able to get one, $21.99, and now here she is sitting on the review table, ready to get opened up. Packaging here, as you can see, is the same Black Series 6-inch packaging that we have become accustomed to. You get the black and red themed packaging, you get the figure inside along with her accessories, and then an image there of Ahsoka down at the bottom. I don't really think that this looks too much like Ahsoka. I mean, it looks like her head tails are too short maybe. And it even looks a little bit like Ashley Eckstein, who of course voices Ahsoka in the show. So that's very interesting. I do wonder if they intentionally tried to make it look like her. Side of the box gives you a peek inside the packaging. Opposite side indicates that this is number 20 in the 6-inch Black Series line that was relaunched for The Force Awakens. And at the back, just a little bit of information there about Ahsoka. It says, Anakin Skywalker's apprentice Ahsoka Tano left the Jedi Order before it was destroyed during Order 66. She would re-emerge years later as Fulcrum, a leader in the fledgling rebellion against the Empire. Alright you guys, so I'm going to go ahead and get Ahsoka out of the packaging and then we'll take a closer look and see what she's like. Again, really excited about this one, so I'm really anxious to get her busted out and see how cool she really is. Alright you guys, now here is Ahsoka out of the packaging, and I do gotta remark that she is quite easy to stand. I'm actually pretty surprised because usually with more skinny figures, they're a little bit harder to stand. I don't have any problem standing Ahsoka so far. She seems to be standing very well, has very good center of gravity, very nicely balanced, and I think that she looks pretty great. Her physique and proportions are very feminine, and she does look a lot as she appeared in Star Wars Rebels, save for the face, which is just a little bit more realistic looking to keep it in line with the rest of the 6-inch Black Series figures. The costume itself is very nicely done. The paint here seems to be very clean, really liking the colors. And being a Black Series figure, she has a fair amount of articulation and a couple of accessories. And I'll give you guys a close-up here of Ahsoka's face, and look at this, isn't this great? This looks very, very nice. I'm a huge Ahsoka Tano fan. I think she's one of the coolest characters in all of the Star Wars mythos and lore and so forth, and it's really cool to have a 6-inch version of her finally. And I just really like what they did here. I think it looks so much like her as she appeared in the show. Not 100% because it isn't completely an animated style figure. Of course, it's going to be a little more realistic. And I think they did an admirable job bridging the two, just as they did with the Kanan figure that we looked at previously. It's just a really nice sculpt. I think they did a very, very good job with it. The whole head really looks quite nice. Coloring is okay. It does look a little bit sloppy in some spots down here, but by and large, it's pretty good. I just think it's a phenomenal sculpt, and the coloration seems to be very much on par with what we saw in the show. And her face looks really good. It's painted very well. The eyes look very nice and clean. Lips look pretty good. Not 100% dead on, but they're painted, more or less pretty well. And then the rest of the facial markings look quite good and quite clean. Overall, really, really digging the look of Ahsoka. I think this is awesome. And the rest of the costume looks quite nice. She's got some armor here on her chest area. I don't know if there's supposed to be like lights or buttons or what those are exactly, but they look good. She's got these coverings here on her arms, and then she has like these gauntlets on her arms that also have the little lights / button thingies, and they look pretty nice. Down here she's got her skirt. You can see that there's like a plastic skirt that goes over her soft goods skirt. And it looks quite good. With the soft goods, sometimes it's a little too obvious that it's a soft goods skirt and it kind of clashes with the rest of the figure. But in this case, it looks pretty good. You can't really tell that it's soft goods, like unless you look at it up close and touch it. But they did a really nice, good job integrating that aesthetic here. As for the legs, they look very good, very skinny, but she's a small character. And some knee pads, and then the boots look pretty good, and just a very beautiful coloration on Ahsoka. I really like that it's not just brown. You get different shades of brown. You get more of this mahogany color, you get more of this like coffee color, more of this caramel color, and then the boots, which are kind of like a taupe color. And I just think it's a very nice aesthetic, very nice sculpt work. There's not a whole lot of wrinkles on her, but she is a skinny figure, and you know, you don't really need a whole lot of texturing and folds and such. I think it's perfectly adequate as they did it. And skin color, again, very nicely done. Overall, I don't think I could be even more pleased with the aesthetics of this figure than I am. It just looks really, really good. In the way of articulation, Ahsoka does have a ball joint here at the head. It's really hard to move. You're not really going to get any movement with it because of her head tails, which obviously, you know, are going to restrict it. So there's really nothing I can do with it. She has ball joints at both of these shoulders, and they move very nice. Very nice. No interruptions up there up top. She's got a ball hinging at both of her elbows. She's got ball hinging at both of the wrists. The left wrist goes in and out like this, and then the right wrist goes up and down. She's got a ball joint here at her upper torso, and it gets in a pretty good range of movement. You can kind of move it back. You can move it forward, side to side. Pretty good. And she's got ball hinging at both of her hips, but the skirt does not have any slits in it. They just kind of did it a soft goods skirt all the way around. So because there's no slits in it on the side, you can't really get her to do a full split. I mean, you can kind of go about that much, and that's going to be about it. And then she's got swivels at both of her upper hips, and they're a little hard to see, but they are in there, and you can just swivel them to the side like that. She's got double bends at both of the knees, which is very nice, very good range of movement there. And then she's got a hinging with rocker swivels at both of the ankles. Interestingly, the right one seems to be just fine. You can see it, the joint in there. But when I took this out of the box, the left one, the joint was kind of like off to the side, so it was really hard to like pose her foot. It was kind of like not able to go forward and back. I think I've kind of gotten it, but you just got to really pinch that joint in there and then move the foot independently of it to get it to align better. In the way of accessories, we get two lightsabers, which is really cool. You get this more of a curved sort of hilt there for this lightsaber. It kind of almost looks like Asajj Ventress's lightsaber, where, you know, it's very narrow and it has that curvature to it. And not a whole lot of detail on there. I mean, it's sculpted all right and it's painted okay. It's got these little loops here at the back. And then the blade is sort of like a whitish blue sort of color, like a very, very, very light blue. And it's a very thin blade, kind of like what we saw with the Tatooine Luke. And seems to be okay. And then you can pull the blade out of the hilt. There we go. They're a little hard to pull out, but you can do it. And yeah, pretty cool. Then we have her Shoto Saber, and the hilt, again, very simplistic. It's got a little bit of paint on that side, like a button, but very, very simple. Blade is the same color, and again, you can sort of just tweak it out like that. They are very stiff, but you know, you can get them out and put them back in. So Ahsoka does have these little hooks on her plastic outer skirt, and you can hook the lightsabers on there. So basically you're just going to take the loop of the hilt and just place it over that hook, and it'll stay very nicely. We'll go ahead and grab the other one and we'll do the same thing. So now she's got her lightsabers on her sides, and it's a really nice aesthetic. I like that the lightsabers seem to be very secure on there. You can move it around and they're not going to slide around or go anywhere, which has been a problem with some of the other Black Series figures. On Ahsoka, it works very well, and I think it just looks really good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so there you have it. This is the Hasbro Star Wars, the Black Series, number 20, 6-inch Ahsoka Tano. All in all, you guys, I am quite happy with this figure. I think that from an aesthetic standpoint, it's everything I expected it to be. It looks fantastic. It's got a marvelous sculpt. It's got very nicely applied paint. All in all, it's a very good looking figure. I do think that the articulation, for the most part, is quite good, but it does suffer a little bit since you cannot move her head pretty much at all, since those head tails just restrict it quite a bit. Would have been nice if they would have been able to find some way to add more head movement to her. I think that slits in her skirt would have been very nice in order to achieve a little bit more leg movement. But other than those two things, I really have no complaints about the articulation. The lightsaber accessories are very nice. I do think that the hilts are a little bit on the flimsy side, so I do wish that they were a little bit more sturdy. The blades themselves, very thin, But that's pretty much in line with what we see with the lightsabers in Rebels. And it's cool that Ahsoka has these unique whitish blue sort of lightsaber blades. I really like how you can remove the blades and how they clip onto her skirt without falling off. And all in all, I really am happy with the figure. Again, the only complaints I have are with regards to moving her head and moving her hips. Other than that, this is a very solid figure, and in my opinion, one of the best in the 6-inch Black Series line. If you're a fan of Ahsoka Tano or a fan of Star Wars Rebels, I think you're really going to enjoy adding the 6-inch Ahsoka to your collection. Solid effort by Hasbro, and I'm really pleased to have finally added her to my collection. Alright my friends, if you've enjoyed this video, then I do encourage you to please like and subscribe. Let me know what you think about this version of Ahsoka Tano down in the comments, whether or not she is something that you would add to your collection. Be sure to follow me on Facebook and Twitter for the latest collecting news and updates. And as always, I want to thank you for tuning in to Victoria's Cantina. Till next time my friends, bye bye.